There is no user manual for parents raising their kids properly. In this video, I'm gonna explain what are the impacts of having the child exposed to screen or excessive screen time or gadgets. That's why I'm making this video, so some of the parents and who will be becoming parents in the future will know what to do and what are the impacts of a child which is having an early exposure to screen time. So first things first is nowadays we tend to calm the child through our mobile phones, screen, and other gadgets. So if ever the child will cry in public, in anywhere, then we tend to give our gadget just to keep it calm. But unfortunately, it has a negative impact on the child's development. So first impact is it will delay its development because as you can see, gadgets will only information. So there is no interactive with gadgets. So it is only speaking from the video to the child. So the children cannot speak back or there is no physical or interaction between the gadgets and the kids. So that's why it will have an impact development delays, language, social skills, and emotional regulation. Because there, when you're speaking with a device, there is no emotional involved. That's why it's very different from the actual conversation. Number two, attention and focus. Nowadays, it's very difficult to focus with all the distractions around the world, the gadgets, the social media, the different posts that is getting our attention. So I believe that attention right now is the most currency of other bloggers. That's why they need to get people's attention so they can raise money or any other products. Okay? So that's the downside of early exposure. You tend to have less attention and focus because when a child is exposed to a screen, it keeps changing its scene every second, couple of seconds. That's why it's very hard when the child is already sitting in the front of the classroom with a teacher and the blackboard and the scene is not changing. Then what will the child feel? He will feel the boredom because it is not scenery, it's a static scene with a teacher speaking in front. That's why we, as much as possible, no screen time for children. Then here comes the impact of the physical health. Increased in screen time associate with obesity. Why will you get obesity? Because you will sit longer with in front of the gadgets and time will pass, you'll just keep sitting there. Okay, and then there's also a sleep problem. Why? Because of the blue light the screen produce, it will keep you awake. The screen is designed to keep you wake up. That's why at the middle of the night when you try to check your Facebook or any social media, then the sleep will go away. The feeling of sleepiness will go away. That's why I don't check my phone during mid sleep. That's why keep your phones away from the bed as much as possible so that you will not be tempted to check your phone during sleep sleep time. Okay? So yeah, and very obvious eye strain, because when it's totally dark and you let the phone or the screen, then you'll get an eye strain, because your eye needs to adapt from the screen brightness to the darkness of the scene. That's why eye strain, as you can see, observe that children nowadays are wearing glasses because of the eyes are already damaged by the early exposure of the screen. Okay, so let me know what are your observations in the comment section about the early exposure of the screen time. So we are talking about the children's impact, and we also parents have an impact on that, because as you can see, we will create stress and conflict with our children if they are already addicted through the screen. Because if ever you're going to get that gadget, you will create a tension between your child and you. Not only the child will get stress and tantrums, but also as parents, because we will feel that we are not good enough for that child. That's why battle screens. That's why it's very important to lessen the screen time. Yep. And guilt and uncertainty. So parents often feel guilty about relying on screens and unsure about how to manage their children's tech use effectively. I have observed this because some of the parents let their kids, even in the dining table, let use the gadgets. So that's how impactful. And if they will get the gadget, the angries gets mad at them, which leads to reduce in quality time. Excessive screen time leads to less face-to-face interaction with parents, because the children and the parents are already using, and they cannot emotionally communicate. Okay, that's the limitation. Yep. So how those both parties, the parents and the children, gets impact with the early exposure of screen time. That's why in my experience, I love to lessen that. And how can we lessen is we should start early as now. We should not expose our children for the gadgets. That's just my, because we grow without gadgets. Gadgets came along when we were in our 18s or teens years. That's why we already have the vision, the wisdom that gadgets has to come with a pros and cons. That's why we are millennials, because we have seen the no gadget days and the gadget days. So how can we minimize this is to set clarity. So kids should be educated that screen time and gadget time has limits. Set limits, parents. And tech free zone. What are the tech free zone at home? When you're in the dining table, when you're in front of the food, you should not use your gadget, because if ever have you ever tested it, but when you're eating and in front of a gadget, you won't feel the food, because your mind is thinking on the gadgets while your body is eating the food. So you will not feel the food. That's why that's one of my observation. And let's be the role model, because as I have observed, whenever I'm using my phone, the children will approach me, Daddy, you're using your phone. Can we use your phone also? Can we also play games with our phone? I said, okay, I will put down my phone and let's play, let's make an art, and any other activities that will relate to screen time reduction or elimination. Okay, so that's how we limit. So we need to make a team effort, me and the household, that we should not let them expose to the gadgets. And also, I encourage tech free activities together. Like we go to the forest for a walk, for a bike, and for a stroll, and we watch the animals, observe the animals, butterflies, caterpillars. That's one of the most interesting activities. Not only they are taken away from the screen time, but also they get to know the nature of insects, plants, and they need to respect the nature. Okay, and also embrace boredom. Whenever they are bored, you just let them be. Let them do arts, let them draw, let them color, let them do watercolor. That's okay because boredom is also part of our life. And also, outdoor activities, as I have said, bike, camping, any parks, creative play. That's how we draw, interact, and maximize our creativity. And when you let them draw, always ask them, can you explain your drawing, so they can also develop their critical thinking abilities through creativity. And also, we have a story time that not only focus on a single story but with open ended. I let them think the continuation of the story, or I let them think what will happen next, not only focusing on the end result but also. And also, we encourage music and movements. Play your child musical instrument, piano, guitar, flute, any interesting gadgets aside. So I hope this video was very informational with you guys, and hope to see you in the future. That parenting, let's grow together, because in this parenting, it's more of a process, and there is no manual that was hand over for us to follow. So I hope we as parents think that we should get the best in raising our child, and let's minimize or eliminate the screen time as early as possible.